What is up, ladies and gents? Noli here. If you guys caught the Game Awards 2017, you will know why this is a video you should be excited for. GTFO, the new title being developed by the studio 10 Chambers, had its full gameplay trailer revealed, and boy was it impressive. Why should, as fans of the Payday series, we be excited? Well, not only is it billed as a 4-player, hardcore, co-op action horror FPS, but also it's being developed by a studio with a number of leading names from Overkill Software, and going even further back, Grin. We have the one and only music maestro Simon Viklund, who will also be working on story elements, and of course Ulf Wolf Andersson, who not only voiced everyone's favourite Swedish madman, but is also the mastermind behind the studio. Plenty of reason to be excited, especially as Ulf confirmed, GTFO goes out to the tight-knit, die-hard co-op teams of 2 to 4 people. You can certainly see the similarities. In this video, I'm going to show you the 2-minute trailer for those who may have missed it, and then also break down and freeze frame on some interesting details I've noticed in my many rewatches.
It comes every night without fail. There are different people every time.
Let's get this done quickly. Get whatever the warden want and get home.
But I recognize them somehow.
What the hell is this place?
They're screaming at me. I don't hear them, but I know they're screaming.
You got anything?
Such hate and anger.
I hope you bastards are looking up once in a while. Those fuckers might be anywhere.
I don't know what I have done to them.
This place is so damn dark. Sleepers.
They want me to feel what they feel.
This is good, man. This is good stuff. It'll trade. Everything trades. Oh, fuck. To be honest, Eddie. Second! Keep your eyes on that door! Ah, shit, there's fucking loads of them!
Then I wake up. I'm not sweating or screaming. I'm perfectly calm. I just open my eyes and I'm awake. And it's not a nightmare. It's just part of me, who I am. I don't fight it. I just live around it.
What the hell is this?
I don't think it disappoints. The first thing you will obviously notice is just how gorgeous the game looks, especially when compared to previous Diesel Engine titles. While it's nothing groundbreaking, it's certainly a welcome improvement that won't put off new potential players.
It comes every night without fail.
Already we can see they're certainly not pulling any punches when it comes to the horror aspects of the game. In these brief freeze frames between static, we see some limbs where they do not look like they belong.
There are different people every time.
Let's get this done quickly. Get whatever the warden want and get home.
Clearly all the action takes place far below the earth in this mission. My question is, will we be fighting in different environments, and will they all involve this descent below ground? We also learn of a character known as the Warden, I assume a Bane or Control-like figure.
But I recognize them somehow.
What the hell is this place?
This is our first proper look at the team. We have Bishop, whose proficiency or equipment is a cutting torch, likely a sort of oversaw from Payday 2, Woods, a mapper, and North, who carries trip mines. Some familiar class-based concepts and potential RPG elements. The environment is also really rich and cinematic, especially when paired with the dialogue.
They're screaming at me. I don't hear them, but I know they're screaming.
So it's worth noting at this point we don't actually know the player character's name. In this particular freeze frame though, we do get some good information, including the depth below ground and objective shown in the top left, which is retrieve hydrostatus unit Y49X in zone 77F and get security data. This seems to suggest that there will be some sort of carrying system, akin to Payday 2, and also hints at navigation elements to the game. This is really interesting, and especially backed up by the existence of the Mapper class and the minimap in the top right.
You got anything?
North uses a device to scan the rooms ahead through the door. This is clearly displaying some sort of recon portion of the mission.
Such hate and anger.
I hope you bastards are looking up once in a while. Those fuckers might be anywhere.
Just to quickly touch on the characters again, we've heard a number of accents, some of which I'm not certain on. We certainly heard one American voice on The Descent, another I hear is English or Afrikaan, one that may well be Scottish in the previous scene, and we've just heard an Irish accent throw out a warning. While I'm not positive on the character nationalities from just the snippets in the trailer, the quality of voice acting is top notch, and it's the first step in getting people invested in these characters.
I don't know what I have done to them.
This place is so damn dark. Sleepers.
Sleepers. Enemy types that I assume can be alerted early and cause some complications. Whether this is primarily for tension and atmosphere, or is actually part of a stealth system, we don't yet know. Also worth mentioning how dark the environment is, and how necessary the mounted torches seem to be, which is a welcome change from Payday 2.
They want me to feel what they feel.
This is good, man. This is good stuff. It'll trade. Everything trades.
So quickly, just before things get real crazy, we see the cutting torch in use, and also hear mention of trading. This suggests the missions are done with a Payday-esque profit motive, and hints at a possible in-game currency that will define progression.
Oh, fuck. To be honest, Eddie, second! Keep your eyes on that door!
So our character uses his equipment, I assume proficiency, which is a sentry of some sort. It also comes with a handy heads-up display status notifier, so should already perform better than the Payday 2 equivalent.
Ah, shit, there's fucking loads of them!
We get our first thorough view of some of the game's enemies that immediately display a swarm-like mentality, and we see a ranged attack. These enemies move in really weird and wonderful ways. This is no small part due to the motion capture work done for the game. You guys can check out a really interesting interview with the mocap actor for the game in the description down below. In the interview, he actually lets slip that he's doing capture work for 6 different enemy types. He also describes the place we will encounter them as the prison. Explosions. I'd say a grenade done it. Gore is clearly a big deal here. So are these weird looking egg sacs that explode out of enemies. They seriously remind me of the egg bearers from Dark Souls 1. Oh, and shotgun secondary seems to be a thing.
Then I wake up. I'm not sweating or screaming. I'm perfectly calm. I just open my eyes and I'm awake. And it's not a nightmare. It's just part of me, who I am.
Okay, so the elephant in the room that I've avoided mentioning thus far is clearly the narrator. He's been talking throughout the trailer of fear, screaming, and nightmares. The way this section is presented, he could easily be seen as the voice of the player character in this footage. I'd suggest not though. From what he's actually been saying, he sounds almost like a hive mind of the enemies, bemused as to why these familiar teams enter into their home night after night and want him to feel what they feel. A real puzzler and an atmospheric addition to the narrative of the trailer.
I don't fight it.
Here we see the option to close a door through a control panel, suggesting there are ways to barricade the enemies out. We also see the low health warning sign and the complete loss of his teammates in the bottom left.
I just live around it.
And there we have it, GTFO. This trailer has excited me no end, and has received some really positive acclaim from news outlets online. I'm going to follow the game's production very closely, moving towards its 2018 release date. Please do stay tuned on the channel for more GTFO videos, and I'll hopefully see you all in the next one.